So welcome, guys. This is just going to be a bit of a fun round. This is the Champions Weekly Tour Legend Unlimited first round. Just going to have some fun. Already shot a 59. Going to have a second go. Really need a sort of 56 or 57 in mid winds to be in with a shout on the second round. Maybe even a couple less. Terrible winds the first time. All the short par fours had headwinds. So hoping for a bit of luck and have some fun. So might do a few off things along the way, but really just gonna play and have some fun. Nice tailwind to start. As my mouse completely freezes. Going to be quite aggressive here to leave a easy shot in. Playing with a TM81 ball. That's nicely into sort of little wedge distance. Not far from going in the water really, but there we go. So this should be a fairly simplistic shot. We hope. I'm going to play no spin. A little bit of wind allowance, who knows, we might hold it. .44 yards, going to play at about 3 downwind, 41, and then I'm going to add 3 back, so back to 44. Might just give it one more. Oh, no! So close! Never mind, that would have been a rather nice start, but as it is, it's a little tap-in birdie. And this second hole is kind of crucial. It's a left pin. It's not a terrible wind. If you can get this, it's a real bonus. I know a lot of people will be restarting if they don't birdie the first two, but I'm going to play this one through. Not a terrible wind. Down the right side, which is pretty good news because that should be firing into a slight headwind, maybe a straight wind. And really here, you can risk a sort of all-out shot to land here and then just gently roll down, but this is a 13 green. If you do crawl over there, it basically rolls to the hole. But you can be left here and no shot whatsoever or a big downhill putt. So we're going to play it at the pin and try and accept a 10-footer uphill. Also a little bit left of the pin is better than a little bit right of the pin. I'm going to probably hit, I'm going to risk of just a full 145 shot. I'm not sure it's enough, but nice ding, line's good. Is it long enough? Well, apparently it's way long. Not quite sure how that's possible. I don't think it was tail. It's gone 147 yards when it doesn't play 145, so you can only assume it must have been a little bit of tailwind. But whatever it is, it's a really not very good shot. The good news is this is uphill, so there's still a chance. Looking at about 20-foot putts here to get it to the hole. Slightly into the headwind, so I might give it just a little bit more. Because we're hitting it quite firm, because it's uphill, it should break less, so there's not going to be an awful lot of break in this. And that's the headwind. I mean, there's only a little bit of headwind, but oh, I hate leaving it short. So, wanting to shoot 15, 16, 17 under, 1 under through 2 is not a great start. Now we need some wind help. Okay, that's better than one would normally get. So we're going to carry on. There is a big hill here that you kind of face into. I'm going to try and aim a little bit right at that just to avoid it.
Way to grip it and rip it.
What we don't want is a bounce right into the rough.
That's in the garden spot.
We missed the hill, which is a good stop there. No.
That's a huge drive.
Very close to going in the bunker. It's an awful fairway because if you land in the middle, it stops dead, and if you land right, you run it. How I've missed those 2 bunkers, I've no idea, but there we go. Good news. Just going to add a little dab of backspin to this one. Going over all these crevices, so we need to land it kind of pin high. It's playing 51. Minus the wind, we're going to say the wind's worth about 47, 49. I'm going to hit it 50. Actually, no, I'm going to hit it 51 because I had some backspin. Get close. Get in the hole. Oh, nearly pitched in. A little bit past. If you saw that one bounce hop, that long hop, was because obviously it's downwind. And here we got one of these funny putts that it's just a little bit of right to left, just a tickle. Headwind though, so the usual sort of 4.5 feet here for downhill isn't quite enough, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Keeps it straight as well, hopefully.
Solid putt.
So on to go to the 4th. Not too worried about what wind we get here, but we are on the 5th, 6th, 7th and 9th. Trying to play quite quickly so we're not taking too much time up. Massive fairway here, so it doesn't really, not really concentrating too much on where to hit the drive. Always a fun second shot in this one. I don't know why, but I really like it. It's a tough hole, but it's one of those holes where if you feel like you get it right, it's very enjoyable. So we've got 171. I might off-ding this right. Do not want to be going left. That's pretty good with an off-ding. So we seem to have flat wind. Maybe slight tail, but I'm going to be off-dinging it, so I'm going to sort of compensate for that. So we're sort of looking at 175. This won't go 175. I'm just going to add take a little backspin off it. Hopefully enough off-ding to hold it. Looks pretty good.
On the dance floor.
Yeah, we still got a little bit of tail there, so not a very good shot, and now we've got a really tough putt. 15 and 1 down. Lots of break. It's about a 9.5 putt. Could be too much break allowance, but I want to give it a chance. I don't like being under the hole. Wow. Don't you just love those? So now it becomes a bit of a struggle. Poor shot in. Chance to be much better than that, and certainly not leaving that putt. But not very much luck on the on the putts. It was a good putt, just didn't go in. So we really need an eagle here now. It's a good win for it. Because I'm already behind, I'm going to be playing the really tight line, trying to feed it close to the fringe so it doesn't kick too far right.
That's a huge drive.
So I basically, on tailwind, I try and aim in this area here. I want to be sort of left of the pin because I want it to roll there rather than here. So I'm starting it left of the pin. If it catches the fringe, I'm not concerned because it's an easy flop in. Allowing for some wind. So we've got 190. It's going to play about 180. I think I like just over 180. Nice ding. Need it to come inside the pin line here. That's a pretty good line, not quite enough left. You can see the idea though. I was trying to get it more into here to feed down to the pin, but it's rolled a lot on the 13 greens, but we've got an eagle try, so we can't complain too much. 25 foot with no elevation change. I'm going to hit it slightly harder than I would normally. I want to be aggressive here. Not the greatest of camera angles either, just to make it a little bit more difficult, but we look like we've got right to left, left to right, right to left. A little bit of right to left, then left to right. I don't think it's far off straight, so I'm going to go with my gut instinct on that. 17.2. I think we're going to go 18 and a bit with a little bit of headwind. Slight off ding. So a little bit of luck there that we didn't get on the last hole, but a nice eagle. Good read. Obviously, we're going to hit ding sometimes and it not go in, and occasionally slightly off ding it and it work. So we're sort of back on track slightly now. We're 4 under through 5, which is not ideal, but not bad. And we've got a bit of a tailwind here, so this is nicer than the head I had previously. So we want to try and get this quite far down there. That'll be quite tight to the right rough, but I think we're okay.
That's in the garden spot.
No rollout, which is a shame. So we've got a 90-yard shot in here. See if we can get this one close. Like a bit of backspin here because it's a downslope it's pitching on and we're downwind slightly. So I'm just going to try and hold it up a little bit more. Quite like that as aim with a bit of ground spin. So we've got 89. Probably a couple 87 after wind. And I'd usually play that 89. I'm going to play it 90 because of the added backspin. Hopefully that will help slightly. It doesn't look like it has. No, needed to be dinging that. Very poor shot. Distance was pretty good. Just aimed too much. So we're faced with another sort of longer putt than we'd hoped for. But seems to be putting quite well, so we've still got a chance. So this is sort of a 10.5 putt. Break is also with the wind. Quite like that, we need to hit the ding here. Okay.
roll.
Good save from a poor wedge. So we're still sort of nearly on track. Could really use another eagle on one of these short holes. Just bash this down here into this region here. Nice left pin.
That's in the garden spot.
Stop there. Yeah, in good shape. Ah, it'd be good to hole one of these sometime soon. A little bit of backspin, don't need any more than that because it's into the wind. A little bit of left to right, sorry, right to left. Not that much. 84. Probably about 5 or 6 for wind. 89, 91. I'm going to hit this 91. It always rolls out a little bit. Good ding. We'll take a pin out just in case. A little bit long. 3 yards. Wedge game not quite on point. Which leaves us under pressure on the putting all the time. Flat putt. It's not much turn. I'd be disappointed if you didn't hole this. Just going to hit this sort of 7. Another solid putt. Right, what we got? 8, 3. This is one of the tougher birdies. But we like this hole. In fact, I like every hole at St Andrews. So we've got 206 after elevation. I want to be aggressive here. I do not want to be short of this mound. If it goes long, so be it. We've got 206 shots. Quite like that, maybe just a little bit more. I'm going to try and ding this, but it's dangerous because if I left ding this, it's going to be left of the pin comfortably. So 206, downwind. I'm probably going to play this 200 just to be safe. It might be a little bit long. Just take off just a tad. Nice ding. Nicely on line. Don't be short. Don't be long. Pretty much, I should have just stuck with what I thought. Actually, no, that was a good adjustment. So again, we're 3 yards away. We've got another similar putt. 8.21 downhill into the wind. It's about a 6-foot putt. Need a ding. Could be painful. No, it's worked. So that's a good birdie to get under on the card. Now, we could really use a tailwind here. Massive difference between we've fluked out with a wind here. So this is now a pretty much guaranteed birdie, and we're hoping we can get somewhere close for eagle. Not an easy shot, and it does rely on some bounce as well. The mistake we can't make here, and we don't want it to force us to do the opposite, but the mistake we can't make here is missing ding and ending up in here. Otherwise, it's never getting to the green. But conversely, if you want to get close to the pin, we do need to be landing here-ish. I'm not even sure if it definitely makes it. It's not going to be far off. Just going to be a little safer. Right, we need a good ding here.
Oh,
Spot on now, just don't turn too much. It's going to be close. Sit, 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 sit. Well, we'd have taken that off the tee. It's rolled a little bit longer than we wanted, but 5 yards away, we can't really argue with that. So a really good eagle chance. 14 feet into the wind. We'll need a ding for sure. Unless we get lucky. Just a little bit more than that, I think. So this would usually be sort of about a 10-foot putt, but I'm going to add a little bit extra for the headwind. So I'm going to go 11.25 here. Feels about right. Good ding. Stay there. Stay there. Beautiful. Whoop! So after a poor start here, now going quite nicely, 9 under through 9. If we can just get some more wins on these first couple, and then we fight hard on the last few holes where it's a lot tougher. Here we haven't got the nice juicy tailwind, but hopefully we can still manufacture a birdie somehow. So St Andrews is obviously such a fun course because 9 under through 9, having not played particularly brilliantly, always gives you chances. So it's a shame this isn't tailwind because we'd be close to the green, and now we've got not an easy 90-yard shot in. Hoping within 3 yards here and give ourselves another chance, being that we're putting quite well. Terrible camera angles. It's about the best one we're going to get. So there's plenty of tail there, but it's mostly right to left. Left to right, even. I don't hate that, but we're going to need ding. I'm going to play this as sort of 5 yards extra, plus my 2 extra, 97, 96, somewhere along those lines. Hit the ding. Two yards, can't argue with that. Going to hit this 4.5, allow a little bit of break. Slight off ding, but we got away with it. So 10 through 10, now we've got the tough par 3. Would love a birdie here. I quite like this hole, but especially when it's tailwind, but it's not a gimme by any means. Par would not be the end of the world. Haven't got enough left to right to be off dinging this, so we're going to have to risk the ding. The good news here is anything here feeds to the pin, anything there feeds away. So I'm going to sort of play, that's a little bit more wind, and it's probably about right. I think that's probably a good base. So now we think about power. We've got 180 plus 2, so 180. 182 to the pin, probably a good 12 wins, sort of 170-ish, maybe just a little bit more. Dinged it. Line looks pretty solid. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wanted the kick on. I was about 2 yards short there of being nice and tight, just caught the upslope and right slope, but still a chance, so a bit of luck, we can still manufacture something here. One of these camera angles where you've got right to left here, and we've got left to right there. Now, because the camera angles are quite sort of similar, they're quite sort of similar distance. Sometimes you sort of angles from over here, and then you have to allow for the closer angle to straight. But because this is so similar on either side, I'm thinking this is probably straight. My experience tells me that this is a slightly left to right putt, so I'm just, and particularly with this wind here, so I'm just going to go with my gut. I don't like going against my gut, and go with that. We're looking at about a 13, 14 hit, slightly tailwind. I sort of like 14 here. Maybe just slightly over. Keep it straight. Got the ding. And my gut was wrong. Beautiful ding. And it basically moved an inch right instead of an inch left. If I'd aimed straight at the hole like the angles were telling me, it would have been bang centre. So a shame, but it's a tough hole. It's a shame because it was a good wind. Now we'd like a good wind. Oh dear. Now we have to have a conversation about whether we can carry these bunkers. I'm going to risk it because you've got to be aggressive in these things. I'm not sure we carry. I'm going to try and thread them just in case we don't have the carry. Well, at least it's over the shorter bunker.
Good.
Yeah, good carry, and we were online enough as well. But still a tough wedge in with this wind. I can't topspin a 64 here. I don't think it's going to be enough. So I don't like these shots when using this club at such short distance. But we shall see. A little bit of allowance for the wind. With a bit of ground spin, I don't hate that. Maybe just a little bit less. So 60, you're going to allow a 5 wind here, 65, 67. I think that's about right. 67, so where are we? 64, so it's just under that. Not a great ding to miss left there. The distance is good enough. So good shot in. Tough headwind. Quite a lot of break there. $11 through 12, going pretty nicely compared to last time, but now we get into the fighting hard for birdie holes. Would love a headwind here, beautiful. Sounds weird, I know, but the bottom line is that it's very hard to stop this pin with a tailwind, so quite like a headwind here. It's a tight drive this, so I have to focus. Should be good enough. So this is quite a hard patch on the golf course. This obviously is not an easy birdie chance. I like this hole, so I'm hoping I still can make birdie here, but we need to be getting as close to minus 18 through 18 as we possibly can. We'd take minus 16, I think. Definitely. The only thing I don't like about these winds is if you get it slightly wrong on the left or right or left wind and then ding it the other side, it goes miles away. There's a slight left to right, I hope, there. We've got 170 in, 169 after elevation. This is probably going to play about 22, 23 longer, so I'm looking at about 192. Now I could just go 190 and try and roll it down the hill, but it's not going to roll down in headwind. I'm not sure 190 is enough. However, I can get away with this because of the headwind. I'm just going to go with my gut, try and hit Dean. Not bad, unless it's a right to left wind. Go, go. So really nice distance, just a slight off ding, otherwise we'd have been tapping in from a foot. But now we've still got a putt to hold, but very happy with the shot. Tailwind again here, just to notice that. It's about a 7-foot putt here. Right to left, right to left. I want to be quite aggressive with this.
Solid.
Really good birdie. Very happy with that. Nice tailwind on this hole. I mean, you don't really need tail, but you definitely don't want head, otherwise it becomes a very hard birdie chance. It's a very tough eagle chance. I'm going to talk through something that I've noticed lately in a minute. Sometimes the pin is down here, and then you've got a real chance of eagle.
Good ball.
Because that's where usually it ends up to some degree. But this one, obviously, if you end up here, you've got a 40-foot putt. Usually you end up here and got a flop in or a punch or something. What I've noticed of late, I've had a couple that have been close. So I think I sort of almost want to risk, because I'm a lot more confident in my short game than I used to be. I sort of want to risk going over this hill, but to do it, you've got to land short of the hill and roll it up. So I'm going to give it a go just for the crack of it, because I still feel like it's a fairly comfortable birdie, if not. So we're right of the pin here. Work out the wind. Slight right to left wind. So we want to be landing about here, but with some roll. I mean, this is a really fiddly shot and relies a lot of luck, but if you land it in the right spot, it can work. 222 there. I think I want to play about a 212 shot because it still needs a little bit more distance than that. It'd probably come up short, but we're going to give it a go. So it's a 212 shot normally, but I've got less backspin on. Let's go with our gut here. Who knows? Well short. I mean, if we got over that hill, it wasn't far off at all. But look where we've ended up is in the normal place that you end up anyway. So all long over the back. So I'm not concerned, and it's worth the risk as far as I'm concerned. So now we just need to concentrate and make sure that we get the birdie. Now, I usually aim a bit more left to right than that, but there's a little bit of right to left wind as well. So this flop usually only goes 18 yards, but with downwind, we've got 21 to go, and it might roll down the hill slightly. I'm just going to take just a dab of backspin off. I hope it doesn't go long. Perfect. Close to going in again. But job done. 13 through 14. Now we need some wind help. Not a great start. Good news is it's easier to hold near the pin with the headwind. It's just a much longer shot in. Probably birdie this sort of half the time. It's a tricky hole landing in this area because it's so tight. Wasn't far off putting it in the rough, which then makes it a very difficult shot. So we've got another chance here. It's gonna hold lovely on the slope with the headwind. Awful camera angles on this hole, which does not help matters. Just a little left to right. Don't mind if it misses the pin slightly right here because it will turn back in. Maybe just a dab more. So 160 yards, probably not far off 20 for wind, but it will roll down the slope, so we've got a little bit of room to be shorter rather than be longer. I'm going to go with my gut here and 159, 179. Nice ding. Might be long. Come on, roll downhill. We'll take that. Really nice distance control, which is the major thing. 5.7 foot per foot. Another awful camera angles. It's like being at Kiawah at the minute. Looks like it's slightly right to left, but I'm just going to take all of this out by bashing it. And it didn't really look like a bash, but it held its line. 14 through 15. Now, tailwind would be lovely here because that's a nearly gimme birdie. No, we're going headwind, which is a nightmare because I want headwind on 17. I'm not sure there's much chance we're going to get headwind on all three. But all we can do is try. What we really want now is, I'd snap your hand off for 2 under through the last 3, but you know, 1 under wouldn't be terrible either. This is kind of the key one. Diagonal head is not exactly favourable. So I think this shot through is going to be a lot of left to right. Look at the beautiful hotel in the distance. I've stayed there a few times. It's a fantastic experience. If anybody ever gets a chance to go to St Andrews, take it. It's the best golf place on earth, in my opinion. Here's me trying to focus, and now I'm talking about golfing holidays. Right. Not going to be off-dinging this, I don't think. Quite like that line. Might be a touch much. Power is the key here. So hard to judge this wind. It looks more head than side there, which means I'd also finish left of the pin. Okay, I'm going to go with my gut here. I want to be aggressive again. I hate coming up short. 14 yards, 160 is too much, but not by much. So I'm just going to go just under there and try and ding it. Ah, the first bad ding. And this is where you're going to see it feeding away from the pin. I mean, it looks like I aimed too far left, so it wasn't too bad on the line, but the problem there is I've missed the ding into a headwind and come up 20 foot short. That's what you get for talking about golfing holidays. But we can still hold it. 13.8, we're looking at 14. But a strong headwind here, and I do not want to leave this short, so I'm going to be adding about 1.5 foot onto this. So this would usually be about a 14.5 foot putt. It's not going to break that much because I'm going to be hitting it a little bit firmer. So I'm going to go. If it's 14.5, I'm going to add at least 1.5. So we're looking at 16. That's 16.5. I'm going to risk it there. Get lucky. Get lucky. It was in, bar the ding. Disappointing. Never mind, we've held lots of putts. So into the last two. The lead is 58 currently, but it won't be 58 in 3 days' time, so there's no point aiming for that. We're on 58 if we par both. Awful tailwind. There's just no way of getting near to the pin really now without a lot of luck on the roll of the green. And it brings in the rough as it thins up here, so I don't want to be too aggressive. In the rough, it becomes a very tough hole. Left to right wind, should take it somewhere over here. I'm going to take a little bit of power off this. Should be okay, just hopefully it's not too far right and forward into the rough.
Good ball.
So I could have hit that a bit harder, but a miss hit and suddenly
That's
it's
a huge
in
drive.
that rough and it's still gone 3.25. So the reason that we wanted headwind here was because we want to go straight over here and softly cushion bounce it. But if I try and land it here now with my clubs and ball, it's going over here. So I'm left with a really nasty shot in here. I'm still sort of tempted to go for it because that's just what I like to try and do. But we can still get a little bit of luck with rollout down here, so I'm going to play the pragmatic approach and be looking at about here. Full backspin to hold it on the tailwind, because I mean, this is fraught with danger here. If I miss ding over here, it's bunker. Miss ding with the wind, I'm on the road. So we need a good shot here. I like that for line. Don't want to be missing it right though. Probably about a 12 tailwind, so we're looking at about 175. I'm probably going to hit it 175. Need some rollout though. Is 175 enough? Probably not, but I'm going to play the pragmatic approach and hopefully we birdie the last. Nice ding, so it's moving back into where we were aiming. It's a good shot. There wasn't much more we could do than that. Only problem is I don't think I've ever holed this putt in history. And that's the reason why. Headwind putt, 24 foot, 10 downhill. We're looking at about a 9 foot putt. Normally, I might give it a little bit extra. Again, don't want to leave it short. And we're into a headwind. But boy, do I not like the read on this putt. Never have. It's just a lot more than that. And then obviously, you think you've got the read right, and then the wind holds it and keeps it this side. Okay, so we're going for a 10.25 putt, I think. Maybe just a little bit less. Stay there. No, it didn't turn. Too aggressive. If I got the pace right, it was in. Good effort. I have to concentrate here. I don't like overthinking these too much. I like hitting them firm and just getting on with it. So we kind of got stuck on 16 and 17. Really need a tailwind now, please. No. So again, we've not had a lot of luck with winds. Basically only one that we've had that was really useful. Don't really want to be into the wind too much there. We go down this side. See if we can make it a slightly easier shot. So last hole, the beautiful St Andrews. Home of golf. Actually, I had a par 4 ace on this one, which was thoroughly enjoyable in a clash event. Right, we need to concentrate here. So I've given myself a decent wind here, so there's not much head or tail, which is good because you get no camera angle help here whatsoever. So that's not going to be too far off, I don't think. So we've got 75 plus 5, so 77. Is there a small head there? I'm going to pretend there isn't. 77, 79. Got the dings, moving a lot right. Well, that's just a poor shot. It's so hard though with the camera angles on this green. I mean, there was no reason for that to go that far, I don't think, other than there being some kind of tailwind there that I didn't see, and now we're left with not much of a fun putt. All gone horribly wrong at the end. 7.6 feet. Fingers crossed. Not enough. Ugh. Ugh. Minus 14. Ties the lead. Dreadful ending with 3 pars, really. Decent front 9 with 2 eagles. Don't often do that. And then consolidated it with those and then just gone horribly wrong at the end there. Even just 1 birdie, as I said, minus 1 wouldn't have been terrible through there. Minus 0 is not good. Puts us tied for the lead with my buddy Matt Sutherland, who's also in penalty box. Awesome player. But the lead's going to be a lot lower than that, 54s, 55, 56s by the time the second round comes. So not bad. We'll probably have one more go at it at some point. But I hope you enjoyed it, and take care and be safe, and see you soon. Bye-bye.